And we're back. How's everybody doing? We
How are
we
you
can't
doing?
show comments. We can't show comments and have the set list. We're still figuring this out. We're only what, 6 years in.
We're still figuring this out.
We're
Uh,
still figuring it
you
out.
can't, it's like life. It's never, you never
Right.
have it fully figured out. You're always still working. You're always working to improve. What's up,
And
Jason?
if
Over on volume.
if you aren't, you're dead. You gotta keep. You
That's
gotta
it.
be like the Mako. You just gotta keep swimming and swimming and swimming.
That's it. That's it. Keep
I'm
reinventing.
the
Keep going.
Mako.
Keep trying to make it better. Make a better wheel.
I am the Mako. So how's it going out there in LA?
Not bad. Not bad. Not bad. We just had a nice little rainstorm last night blow through, which
I
was
heard that it never rains
different.
in Southern California.
I know it's true.
Was
It's
that
actually
guy
supposed to
lying?
start raining again this weekend, Sunday through like Thursday, Wednesday. So a little bit more storm coming into. I don't know. Makes it great for fire season because see how everything gets nice and green and grows, and then summer hits and it all dies and burns.
It all burns. God. So, all right, let's just jump into it, man. Um,
You're dying. You want to get into it? What's up, Bungle? What's up,
I
Jason?
don't necessarily want to get into it, but I feel like we have to. I mean, all right, so this guy is in the Epstein files. Lots of people are in the Epstein files. The Dalai Lama is in the Epstein files because somebody wanted to meet him. This guy is seriously in the Epstein files. Like he was dating I'm going to pronounce her name wrong. I got yelled at last time. Maxwell, whatever her name is.
Ghislaine.
Yes. Right. What do I call her? Giselle or something?
Gisane.
Gisane, whatever it is. But so I guess the thing
Something
is,
like
all of it,
96. Welcome back. He says, I haven't been there in a while. Oh, you're going to St. Croix a week from tomorrow. Nice. Bungle. What's going on, Savvy? How are you, Savvy? Are you having Tabor's Choice tour withdrawals this week, buddy? Are you coming out in April? Anyway, sorry, Kev. Go ahead. Go ahead. Just
all right,
talking to
well, we
guys
got a
on
couple
volume.
people like Chappelle Roan and other who you sent me one person who said that they were cutting ties. A lot of people are calling one some of the bigger names that are on there. Do we want to pull up the old artist page first, or let's talk about it a little bit and then we can look and see all the names because we've got the Wayback Machine up and we're going to pull up the artist roster, which has been pulled down off of Wasserman's website. But we got a Phish on there. We got a Dave Matthews Band. We got Dave and Tim, Jerry's Symphonic Celebration, Medeski, Martin and Wood. I think Disco Biscuits are on there.
There's a
So
lot.
a lot of these bands, and let me finish the complex thought here. I think a lot of these bands are tied to an agent. The agent works for Wasserman. The agents want him to go where they're going to walk. So I think a lot of these bands are in a holding pattern. The next thing you're getting from people is, well, why aren't they saying we're in a holding pattern? Well, because why do we have to have instant statements for everything? But what's your 1,000-foot view take on it?
I'm just laughing at Mike Scruvin's Maxwell Gisbane. Sorry, that made me crack up in the middle of your thing too. Like that's just funny. It's all Gisbane. That's the levity we need. That's the levity we need. It's one of those things where, I mean, we talked about this before we came on. He's also out here in LA. He is like on the board of the Olympic Committee, like the chairman, I think, of the Olympic Committee. And they voted today. They had a meeting today and voted today to keep him in the position. Like they could have been like, you're out.
Stand
like,
by your man, baby. Stand by your man.
So that's what I don't get though. Like, I mean, and he is a bad person. Okay. So like, this is a bad way of like using this as an example, but and I mean, if you're in the Epstein file, like you said, there's a lot of people in it that you don't know the full, like the Dalai Lama, and you don't know full stories of like, if you're just mentioned in it, are you guilty by association? Like, is it just like the witch trials and you're like, you're a witch, burn him? Or do you get like due process and fair like trial of like, look, I was doing this, but not part of like this.
No, but his emails are like directly to her, like, let's hook up later.
Right. Him and her, that's different. Like but she's a consenting adult, and so is he. So like, I don't know. Like, it just sucks that yes, he's tied in with this woman that is like evil. So I don't know. And so yes, to that point though, this leads me to another thing where I sent you that letter from Alexis Krauss, who's half of Sleigh Bells, and she wrote an article, or like not an article, but a thing that was like, listen, I can't just leave because I have
That's
like a
what
kid.
people want. Right.
She's like, I have a kid that we need insurance, and like I get my insurance through this, and if I leave, there's no guarantee. So she's like, I'm in this bind. Like, you have to understand that it's not as easy as just, and yes, other people can do that, or and she's like, it just doesn't work that way for everyone. So and like you were saying, it is also a lot of the cases of they want to do right by their agent because their agent is somebody they've been with forever. They're not tied up in this. They just
or something, right?
Work for this son of a bitch that then they're like, all right, well, how do I untie my life from this guy when my life? So it's very hard. It's very deep.
Man, all the contracts and lawyers, man, it's a mess.
And this is like what we talk about, even on going off subject for a minute, like with Ticketmaster stuff, it's so big. How do you burn it down? Right? Like, there's
from the
so
outside.
There's so much collateral damage and so much.
We also heard from another woman, Best Coast front woman, said that that they were getting out of there. Is it Chapel or Chappelle?
Chapel Rowan.
So
all
the women are stepping up. You aren't hearing from many of the men. So
of course.
Right. Backstory on this guy. He's a Nepo baby. His dad ran some movie studio with Les Wasserman, I guess his name was. So he stepped into it. He failed up as it was, and he made wrong moves. He got in with the wrong people. You pay the consequences. You lose everything. I'm sure you have enough money in the bank that you could disappear into the wilderness of Montana and buy half the state if you wanted.
Yes,
just fucking walk, dude. Let everyone off the hook and not have to fucking squirm over your dumb shit.
But again, yes, you would think that's the right thing to do. But when you have all the power and you're drunk with power and ego, you're like, why would I give up? Like, why? So, I mean,
all right.
It's awful. It's just a shitty. The thing is like the Epstein files are just, it's so insane. Like, it is so insane. Some of the shit that's in there when you really start going, and not even like the whole, like the gene splicing and the genome shit, and like him wanting to like create, there it is. Like their whole artist list.
Right. We need to do the bigger one.
There you go.
Yeah, there we go.
Hey, real quick, Mike Jam 96. Yeah, James Vanderbeek passed away today at 48 from Dawson's Creek. Super sad. I mean, he was a cool guy. I used to live with the running back from what was the movie? The high school.
Dude, Aha, man.
High school. Aha, the high school movie. Anyway, he always told me great stories about James. He was a really cool guy. So it's really sad. And he's got like 6 kids, which is awful for his wife and family.
That's a lot of kids.
There's a lot of kids. Sad.
What was their song?
AC Slater.
But ABC, what was their song? Cupid's Arrow. Love Plus One. Fly, 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 fly.
Afrojack.
All right, let me scroll down because we're interested in seeing if there is a. I want to know. Okay, here's my thing, and I looked into this a little bit. Phish is represented by these guys, but they're also represented by. Right, they're also represented by Redline. So does Redline just do the music and the booking, and Wasserman deal with the licensing and the larger stuff, the streaming and stuff like that? Public Image Limited. Oh no, you knew Johnny Rotten was rotten to the core. Oh look, Pirates of the Caribbean, the concerts. That's weird. The concert. I guess you're representing
the white cheese.
Pod Save America. They're famous, aren't they? Pork Tornado.
Tornado. Yeah.
Anyway, all right. I'm not going to.
Postal Service. Right there.
It's crazy.
There's
man.
a lot. I mean, it is crazy. There is a lot, and I 100% agree with you. Like the thing to do would just be to step down or take a different position. Like move aside.
You got to go. You got to go. Right. It's the same thing that people talk about. Oh, we just need to defund certain government agencies. No, you need to prosecute and abolish the agency is what you need to do. This guy needs to face consequences for what he did, like I would or you would if we were stupid enough to get in bed with whatever her name is.
Maxwell Gisbane.
Yes, Maxwell Gisbane. Yes.
Yes, I agree.
Oh, it's red light, not red line. My fault. I'm thinking of a West LA
gotta go.
there.
I mean, it's so
He's
true.
Got to go. Right, exactly.
Sarah McLachlan. Oh yeah. I mean, it's crazy.
I turned it off. So what? You know what I say? If next week we're still talking about this and nothing has happened, then I start to really cast a suspicious eye. Let's put it that way. Is a week enough time, or should we give them 2 weeks? It's already been 4 days.
I think it's enough time. Well, yeah, I think in the way things move, you're either, if you haven't done anything by then, I don't think you're going to, right? Like you're just trying to wait out the storm and hope it blows over and the next bad thing comes up.
You are playing a cover for Bob Weir at that point. It's just not happening.
None. No. Jason wants to know prediction of summer tour announcement timing and highlights. Kev was supposed to go last week and then this week. So
1 o'clock Eastern. 1 o'clock Eastern. I think Michael would confirm that for me.
1 o'clock Eastern.
On Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Do you know what Tuesday is?
Fat Tuesday?
Yes, it's Mardi Gras. Oh, guess what I got to do before we get into this dead roundup?
Oh boy, what'd you get to do?
I get to go to my favorite Italian restaurant the day after my birthday with my kids, and we haven't been since 2019. We used to always go on New Year's Day, but after COVID, it didn't happen. So I'm very excited about that.
Well,
all right,
nice. What are you gonna do? Do you already know what you're gonna get? Do you have your
lasagna and the house salad? It's just, oh my God! You got to cut the lasagna in half when you get it and wrap half of it up because number one, there's no way you're going to eat the whole thing, and number two, you shouldn't try. You should just enjoy it the next day for lunch.
All right. Dune Farm says George Porter Jr.'s band will be at Garcia's Chicago for Mardi Gras. That's cool. And Mike's GM96 doing a Foo Fighters tribute band on Friday night on Volume. You need to check it out. They're performing. They are performing at Uncle Mike's in Florida. That's cool. On Volume, I'll tell you this, what you guys should do. I just told Kev this earlier. Friday and Saturday night, I get to do the live stream and do the directing of the live stream for the Daniel Donato shows live from the Troubadour on Volume. So I think it's $20 for both shows, and you get to replay it free for 6 months, or it's $14 for one show. But dude, I'm stoked, Kev. We were just talking about him at the Winter Jam thing and how great his set was at that. So I didn't even realize he was playing the Troubadour because I told my boss, who asked me if I wanted to do the shows. I was like, "What? I didn't even know he was playing. I probably would have been going." Fantastic. So I'm stoked.
I hope he has that jacket when he had at Christmas Jam.
Yes.
That shit was a look. Dark Star Orchestra. They took the Bob Weir tribute to another level. $10,000 donation to the Rex Foundation. They made the presentation on stage the other night at the Fox Theater. I guess 5-6 days ago. Their drummer Rob said it honors Weir's legacy of community and positive social impact. Weir was a founder of Rex back in '83, and he was a lifetime board member. So, really nice thing there.
That is. That's a really nice thing there.
It was named after Rex Jackson. who was one of the roadies, died back in 76. So 50 years ago that happened. I don't know, man. I like the Rex Foundation because it's specifically a non-political
Yes.
thing there, you know.
It's one of those things where it's just always been associated with like the dead, you know, like I feel like, which has always made it one of those interesting foundations to me. Like I think it's very cool. They're doing a benefit for the Rex Foundation. Another plug real quick while we're into plugging things. They're doing a Rex Foundation benefit out here at Loge Room on the 21st, which is also going to be on Volume, and I'll be working that show as well. But it's with Cubensis, The Great Divide, and Shaky Feelin'. So all again benefiting the Rex Foundation. So there you go. More dead stuff. See, like I said, it's always intertwined with the dead. So like that's why it always like made sense to me as like one of those things that you'd want to help, because it works so much around the culture of like what we listen to mostly.
Right. One year on Fat Tuesday, we went to this club called Fat Tuesday that used to be down in what's called Power Plant Live now. And there was a band playing called Fat Tuesday. And
this is really meta, Kev. It's really meta. There's levels.
So we're sitting in there, the drinks are flowing. I decide to light up a little hash pipe I have, right? And I'm hitting it, and this guy taps me on the shoulder, and then he looks down, and I look down, hoping his Johnson isn't hanging out, and he has a badge. And he's like, you know, the police station's around the corner. And I was like, I did not know that. And he's like, just take it outside, man. There's like 6 of us in here. And I was like, no problem. I'm going to the other side of the bar. You will never see me again. I'm going to hell. What can we do? All right, Zach Bryan.
So that was your Fat Tuesday story?
That was I was actually in New Orleans for Fat Tuesday once, and I stood around and drank for like 15 hours over on Frenchman Street. I didn't even go into the quarter proper.
What year was the Fat Tuesdays at Fat Tuesdays at Fat Tuesdays?
It was 2001, because I went down to go to the Radiator show, Mom's Ball, and it was Position Impossible that year.
Why?
Because that's what they name them every year. That year was Position Impossible.
Oh, I thought you meant it was okay. Gotcha.
One year it was It Ain't Pretty Being Easy. You know, it's just every year they gave it a funny name. Forever Tongue was one.
Okay.
Forever. I like Forever Tongue. That's funny. So Zach Bryan, who I kept calling Zach Brown, got to play one of Bob Weir's guitars, courtesy of our friends over at
Grateful Guitars.
Yes, it was Fender Telecaster that Weir used on the road, and it was at the Chase Center in historic San Francisco, California.
That's awesome.
Yes. Another instrument sighting, Grateful Guitars Foundation, Scott Guberman, who I believe plays with Cuban Essence, maybe. I don't know. He got to play one of Brent's keyboards. So the 1980s Emulator 2, which is pretty fantastic. All right, well, I got one more dead roundup thing, because I know you guys are just sitting on the edge of your seats. Gillian Welch and David Rawlings started playing like a dead song sometimes. They're doing a tour called Reckoning, and it's going to be a roots folk tribute to the Grateful Dead classic album, Reckoning. The one from the Halloween run that we did back in 80. So I'm excited for this. I like them. It's only 3 shows in Port Chester, 2 in Oakland, 1 in New Orleans, and then they're going to be at Newport Folk doing it.
That's cool. That's a cool run. And then at Newport, which is great.
Right. But I mean, it has Dire Wolf on it, China Doll Cassidy, To Lay Me Down. A lot of the slower ones, true, but I mean, listening to, hearing her sing To Lay Me Down is just probably going to be fantastic. I'm assuming he'll do the Bobby tunes, the Dark Hollows and the Monkey and
Mhm.
the Engineers, and she'll do the China Dolls and the Tulame Downs and Must Have Been the Roses,
Right.
Or am I just projecting?
Probably a little bit of both. I think you're projecting, but it makes sense. And I mean, I'm sure it won't be straight down the line like that, but
Right.
yeah, it
Right.
makes sense.
Exactly. All right. What else do we have here?
There you go.
Hold on.
It was at that mom's. Hey, look at that. Cat Oops.
Oh, you were. Oh my God. Love it. That was a good time. I went as Braveheart on. I dressed up in a kilt and everything and had this marital aid underneath it and a string, and I could pull it up and the marital aid would pop up from under the kilt. My fault. Have we seen what's the next thing on the list there? Oh man, what do you make of Geese?
What do I make of them?
Yeah.
The tiny desk thing was
the tiny desk thing in general. I mean, I really, I never really listened to them. I love the one song they did on Saturday Night Live. The second one they did, what was it called? Trinidad. Really just out there stuff. And then I listened to the album and I was like, wow, they have all these different moods, all these different sounds. I mean, they're the next big thing, man. They're going to be huge. In 20 years, people are going to look back and talk about them like they talk about The Cure. I am like so on board with this band right now.
The more I listen to them, the more I like. I mean, I it's funny because I got into them, not into them, but started listening to them when Llama first mentioned them before. Like he often gets me into bands that like Mountain Brews got into because of Llama. Tabor's Choice, I think, because it's always, he just finds these like fringe outside bands before people really, so he had been into Goose and was like, yeah, check them out. So I started listening to them. I was like, wow, it's a lot. I think we talked about it too before earlier that like that was more what we kind of wanted out of another band, So I don't know. It was, the more you listen to, the better it is. And you're like, these guys fucking rock.
A lot of people, got little hot under the collar about the songs they chose on Saturday Night Live. And they're like, this is the worst performance ever. And people went on and on. And that just made me say, sign me up if that's where you're going with this, because always the
more
right with the mainstream media, what the general consensus is, what Rolling Stone says, the opposite's true. Rolling Stone is just garbage. I got that for years. I paid for a subscription. I had like 12 years piled up at my mother's house the last time she moved, and I was like, just pitch them. I was like, I'm never going to open those things again. I just looked at all that. I was like, I spent all that money because it was
all
like
that money on all those, and then thinking like someday I'll be like, oh man, look at this one with like U2 on the cover. Oh, someday it'll be like the coolest thing to have.
I did save a couple. I saved the Phish with Gillian Anderson on the cover. Phish, America's Biggest Jam Band, and the X-Files thing. So, and then the Tiny Desk concert they did, Husbands, Cobra, which I guess is their most accessible single and the one I hear on the radio station I listen to the most. But Taxes was the one that everybody had on their list as the song of the album last year. So they didn't play that at either. They played 5 of the tunes. Their singer, what's his name? Cameron Winter has a solo album out now too. Why are you laughing?
I like the process of you like figuring out names.
All right, I'm like, I run it through. Do you see me like running through?
Exactly. And then you got to throw it out there a little bit to talk it through too, like figuring out like the combination, like 6, 7 times.
Right, so they got 2 guitars, bass, and drums as the basic band and keys. But if you haven't listened to them, they really just something fantastic going on with that, man.
Yeah, I agree. Next step is seeing them live and see what it's like a live show is like all about, right?
Right, exactly. So we didn't get to talk about we talked about it on Monday, but that was over only on volume, and I know a lot of people don't go over there for whatever reason. Hint, hint. But we talked about Bad Bunny, and I guess
Dominic. What's going
Well,
on, man?
you aren't skipping forward.
I didn't know. I'll do it. I got it.
There, there we
See?
go. There we go. All right. So, a lot of people were upset about Bad Bunny. I liked it. I like songs I don't know. If I don't know the words, even better, because I'm not going to get sick of it. I can listen to it 10 times if I like the music. But our friend Kid Rock, which, you know what? Apparently that's the code name for Epstein Island. I did not know that before. He did a counter show. 5 million people showed up to watch it. I mean, what? There were only 260 million showed up to watch Bad Bunny.
I think it was like 125 million.
Apparently he lip synced through the whole thing. I have not watched it, but apparently he was not good at lip syncing. He needed to call Milli Vanilli up and get some pointers or something like that.
The counter programming, unbelievable. Of course, Kevin likes Bad Bunny. Yeah, I thought the halftime show was unique and awesome and great and fun and exactly what you want it to be. And then everything with the other one was very funny to see roll out and them talk, like trying to play it off how big it wasn't, but was. And then his whole thing, the lip syncing was awful. Like you had to have seen clips. No, you didn't see any clips. It was bad, Kev. Like it was bad.
No. Well, I did see a statement that he said that the vocals were live despite the tape mix-up.
They're
It was
definitely
the intern, man. It's always the intern.
It's always the intern. It was also, I think, pre-recorded though. I don't even think it was live, and I think it was all paid people in there anywhere. But yeah, there was a real wedding on his thing.
Yes.
Like, that was really cool. Like it had layers. It was cool.
It had layers.
It had layers.
Funny thing is, it didn't even go on his buddy X's channel.
Yeah.
A big platform because of licensing. Elon was like, I ain't paying. But it was on Rumble.
Well, there you go. There you go.
Actually, he only had 128.2 million viewers, making it the most one of the most watched Super Bowl halftimes ever. I'm sure Prince had the most.
Yeah. Yeah. I will say I liked last year's better, but that's just because I'm a bigger Kendrick Lamar fan than a Bad Bunny fan. But that's just I thought last year's was awesome. But this year's was a great from strictly a like performance, like a stage performance point of view, like so creative, like building that whole thing. Apparently, though, it was really hard to watch from the stadium because everything was like inside the trees, so you
it was
really
done for the 4 billion people around
right,
the world.
exactly. It was really done for the TV, which okay, that whatever. I mean, how often are you really paying it? I don't know, whatever. But it was cool. Like it was a cool little thing to be able to like watch happen in there, and like the trees as people and like the way they set up, like doing it with the amount of money they had and only being able to use like a certain amount of carts to be able to get things on and off the turf and shit on time. Like they had to be creative to build the thing, so they came up with like making people the trees, which there was a hilarious post about. Shout out to every kid that was ever like a piece of scenery in a play in school. This one's for you. Like that was so true. Yeah. But super creative. Like the production was cool. Like it was, falling inside the house was cool. Like that was a really cool effect. Like I think they really upped their game with that, which was awesome. I don't know if we'll see more of things like that where it's more important to like play to the worldwide audience watching as opposed to the
of course it is
1,000 in the stadium. So I mean, get up and go to the bathroom and get a beer and
watch it later on YouTube so you can see.
Yeah, exactly.
I was talking. I asked somebody earlier. They didn't respond to me about it, but the thought that art is a better form of social protest than going out with your sign and standing on a corner, only because something like this Bad Bunny thing, him singing in Spanish or whatever it was, Puerto Rican. I've heard Spanish people say to me.
Yeah, I know. I was going to say, I've heard people be like, he wasn't singing Spanish. Yeah.
But that's caused so much consternation. And so they're going to have congressional hearings on what he said, like Louie. It's like Louie all
exactly.
over again.
Like Elvis in the hips.
This is oh my God, the lower body's revolting. What can we do? But the hits just they've never stopped coming for Kid Rock. He was He's doing a tour, man. The Rock the Country Festival. Ludacris was in it. He dropped out a while back, but
Out of it now.
yeah, apparently Shinedown and Creed backed out now, and some of the shows are getting canceled.
Really?
Shinedown, Ludacris, Morgan Wade, Carter Faith, citing concerns about avoiding political division or backlash.
Wait, it says so. It's headliner Jason Aldean and Kid Rock, and then the festival lineup includes Blake Shelton, Hank Williams Jr., Jelly Roll, Brooks and Dunn, Miranda Lambert, Leonard Skinner, and Nelly. Who's pulled out? Oh my god, that's interesting.
Dude, can we talk about the ship of Theseus? Do you know the story of the ship of Theseus?
Yeah, I'm still reading Creed. Oh, Creed.
You replace the whole boat, right? Piece by piece.
Right.
And then is it the same boat? Or is it a different boat? Because Leonard Skinner I saw today has no original members anymore.
Well, this kind of floats into the other thing we were going to talk about, and that is who is the other band that you sent me the article about that REO Speedwagon? Was that it?
No, Foreigner. It was Foreigner.
Foreigner who they got offered a deal for a tour, and it turns out it wasn't them. It was like a cover band playing their songs on tour, but they needed to like sign off on. The dude's like, wait a minute, like why would I? What? No. And so, but they were going to be still called the same name, right? It wasn't changing it, and that's why you were like, when is a band no longer actually that band?
Right. Well, you know, I went and saw when I was 13.
I think Kev, if you have one member in it still, and they own, and there's no like dispute with, or if they just own it.
That's where I was going to go. I went and saw the Guess Who when I was like 13. They played at the Rusty Rudder in Delaware, right? Which is like 100 people maybe fit in this place. And I would convince my mom to take me to see the Guess Who. And we go there, and it turns out the bass player owns the name. And so they have a whole other band. I mean, the creative force was Bachman and what's his name? Burton Cummings. You know, they're the ones who wrote the songs and everything. And for years, the Guess Who took all their music. They refused to license their music to anyone, even themselves, to fuck this guy over. Because he was an ass. He like took the name and then went on the road with some blonde.
I like curly like that though. That's so good. Like fuck that. Fuck him. There you go.
Yeah.
Well, what do you? Yeah. Well,
I like the Guess Who.
I like the Guess Who too, but I don't know. We've had this conversation before because of like Dead and Co and things and stuff, and I you know, it's so hard to like. Oh, look, hey, there you go. Dune Farmer says they just got the name back.
Oh, I heard. Yeah, yes, I saw that. And they're only playing Canada, Dune Farmer. It's killing me. I hope they come south of the border because I don't even have a passport. I can't leave the country. I'm like, fucked. I need to make it to Casablanca and try to get passage to Lisbon.
Papers,
please. Oh, right here.
Letters of transit.
Your letters of transit. God.
Oh man, you got to get a passport. How are you ever going to do Fish Mexico? How are we going to have all of us down at Fish Mexico if you don't have your passport, man?
I got to get a passport, I guess. It's tough, dude.
It's tough. The image of Kev trying to leave the country. I think the image of him trying to get back is even funnier because he'll be so stressed out. I mean, you should see him trying to leave Vegas. Like, it was a stress fest. Trying to get back into the country, he's going to be like, again, my papers.
I've left the country twice. I went to Ireland when I was 13 or 14 with my grandparents. So I was a kid. But I went on a cruise. So coming back was no big deal because you just walked off the cruise boat. You showed your license. This was before the universal IDs and all that nonsense. And you could just show your license and you walk back in. It was no big deal.
Remember when Remember when you used to be able to like go to the gates in an airport and like greet people when they got off the plane at the gate?
You just
Remember
walk
that?
right down. Yes.
Remember that? Remember? And you could take someone to the gate to say goodbye and like have a goodbye
My
kiss
mom
at the
did.
gate
She sent me to
before they got
Florida.
on.
She sent me to Florida every summer to visit my uncle.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
last
because they
year I
could walk
went
you
to-
to the gate and like put you on the plane, and then your grandparents or whatever would be there to pick you up when you were there, like right there.
And the stewardess was always nice to you, and you were like,
Yep.
yeah. The
Yep.
last year I went to Florida, coming back, I was 13, and you used to have to walk up to the desk to get your seat, right? And I walked up to the desk. I was 13, barely see over the counter, asked for a smoking seat. They gave it to me, and I sat and smoked cigarettes and drank stolen miniatures from my uncle's bar. Yes, exactly. And I just sat there and smoked and drank and got hammered flying home from Florida. Because
Bungle,
my
you
mother
never,
wasn't going to know I smelled like whiskey and
Bungle says he never had a passport. That's crazy, man. Never had a passport. Never even just to go to Mexico. Come on, that's crazy. That's
you didn't
crazy.
used to
Ribbon
need
camels
to go to
ribbon
you
camels
didn't-
at 30,000 feet. Yes, exactly. Smoking merits. Smoking merits
you,
and
did,
bling.
you did not need a passport to go to Mexico or Canada until 10, 15 years ago. All you had to have was a U.S. driver's license to go across the border and come back.
That's true. That is true because we used to go down to Tijuana all the time. But then I know when we flew, it was
After
sooner than
9/11, it changed at some
that.
point.
It was definitely, I think it was before that though. But yes, everything changed because of that. That was just like
No, it was definitely after that because we were all cool before that. Everything was cool.
everything was cool, man. Everything was
It
cool.
was. All right, we're gonna run one of our neat little graphics since we're gonna talk about. Oh no, do we not have it?
I don't know.
Man.
The festival, it's got to be in there somewhere.
It's I know where it is. Let's see what happens when we do this.
It's gonna screw up the whole screen.
There we go. We can do that and then hop back.
The first thing you should bring is tickets.
Bring a tarp?
Bring a ground cover because it gets pretty wet.
Money, yes. Lots of money.
We gotta redo that. I say
Why?
that every time. I say that every time we play it, but the NW thing is so weird. It needs to get fixed.
Oh, right. You don't like that. I hear you.
I hate that.
We'll have to work on that. All right. It's more. It's not just festival updates we're looking at. We're talking.
It's all encompassing.
It's all encompassing because there's a bunch of festivals coming up.
Including
Like
the Kid
now,
Rock Festival.
right? Winter
Apparently.
music, the Wintergrass Festival we've talked about.
Mhm.
Swanee is coming up. There's always something down at Swanee, it feels like.
Always.
I shouldn't have just copied and pasted the whole page.
Oh boy.
I went to JamBase's website and copy and pasted. Oh man, it makes you put in dates. But anyway, Coachella's happening, right?
Oh, yes, we know about that.
You've been to Coachella. Bonnaroo has announced a bunch of stuff, and I knew the Strokes. Oh, and Noah Khan. I've heard of Noah Khan now. He's been shoved down my throat sufficiently. What do you make of Noah Khan? You all right with that guy?
I'm all right with that guy.
There you go. Jam in the Streets, March 28th. Goose, Moon Taxi, Clay Street Unit. Seems like an interesting festival there if you like the Goose.
Wow, Kansas asks Kev, what do you think of the Dick's return? Are we getting Boulder or are we getting Dick's? Since
I
it's
think
gonna
we're
be
getting Dick's.
Tuesday. You
I think we're getting 3 nights at Dick's. 3 nights though.
You were always Mr. No Dicks.
I know.
And now you're going back to Dick's?
Right. I don't think that they're going to play Boulder again. I think the logistics of it are not as easy as Dick's.
Is that like the logistics in the stadium and Boulder, or is that the logistics of it being 4th of July?
4th of
having-
July in Boulder, there's nowhere for people to stay.
Mhm.
You
Mhm.
know.
Mhm.
I don't know.
I
Yeah,
no, I,
my gut says it's going to be Dick's
I've been saying that since before, like last year. I didn't see how they would go back to Boulder, but then everyone's like, no, they signed like a 3-year deal. It's gonna be the 4th of July every year. I was like, okay, I could kind of see that and ditching Dick's forever, but Dick's makes so much sense. And going back to 3 nights makes so much sense. So I don't know. I hope.
I don't think they're playing MSG, Michael.
In the place of Bethel.
If anything, it would be next year because they need 9 shows.
Right.
So you basically need a one-off over 2 New Years.
Right.
Like
But see,
one
the
night.
last PT thread with the 5 MSG shows. And I just can't. I don't see that. Yeah. I don't know.
Trey likes him some MSG.
Yes, he does.
Yes,
he does.
You know what? If you were like really up for a road trip, you could hit Brooksville, Florida next Wednesday through Saturday. Carl Denton's Tiny Universe. Spafford, Thumpasaurus is playing. Whippersnapper is a great name for your music festival. You think?
That is a great name. That was a great name for a band.
You know,
The
it is.
Whippersnappers.
It is. The Swanee thing that's happened that has Warren Haynes Band, Graham Lesh and Friends, Humphreys, Lettuce, Dumpster Funk, Nth Power.
When's that?
Always fantastic. That's the 26th through the 28th of this month.
Really? Interesting. And Warren's playing? Is that what you said?
Yeah, Warren. He started his solo tour tonight. I
Yeah,
think.
because I was talking to Matt Bush on Blue Sky because I thought he was going to be out here for the Sam Grisman show at Lodge Room, but he said he's doing Warren tour. And then I looked it up, and Warren's playing the Blue Note out here that I've actually never been to. It's right next to the Cinerama Dome that's no longer open, but it's like right there. So I was like, oh, he's playing like 2 shows for 2 nights. There's an early show and a late show, like a 7:00 show and a 9:30 show.
So, yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think there's still tickets available for the 2 nights. So I don't know. I might head down there and check him out. But that's crazy. So yeah, I saw his tour was like West Coastish, and then by when you say the 20th of this month, he's going to be in Florida.
Yeah, 26th through 28th. So he'll just fly in. The rest of the band will be there. He doesn't, his electric guitars can just be shipped there. He only needs his acoustic.
Yeah, I was just wondering how it was, logistically with the tour because he's out. Yeah, that's funny though. Interesting. Cool.
You're sending your people down. They're renting the keyboards probably. I really want to get a Merle Fest sometime. We'll have to see. Old Crow Medicine Show is doing a late night jam session there with Charlie Starr from Blackberry Smoke, your favorite Maggie Rose,
Molly Tuttle, who happens to be married to the lead singer or the dude of Old Crow Medicine Show.
Oh, really?
Yes, which I did not know until I did the Americana Fest thing for Neil Young a couple weeks ago and found out that they were married.
Dude, when the first time I saw her do a whole set and she took her hair off, I was like, what's going on with this thing? I had no idea she had whatever it's called. Don't shoot me because I don't know off the top of my head what the technical name is.
That's okay. Yeah, but that's crazy. And Maggie Rose, it's like I've seen so much Maggie lately. It's crazy. And it does not disappoint. She's so fucking good. But it's like this whole little women thing that she keeps being on that I like with Molly Tuttle again. And it's just, it's funny. It's cool though. I love it. Anything she's on is worth watching or seeing.
I'm with you. Now, if you were going to pick one of the Beatles to go out and do a tribute tour, only play their songs, which Beatle would you pick?
Wait, say that again.
Dead?
Dead?
There are 4 Beatles, right? And
right.
You were going to go out and do the Paul McCartney tour or the John Lennon tour or the Ringo Starr tour, or which one would you pick?
Harrison, probably the George Harrison.
And you're right up there with Jackie Green, Steve Kimmock, Reed Mathis, Barry Oakley, and others who are going on the All You Need Is George tour.
Nice.
So
nice.
Beatles solo catalog, Traveling Wilburys. His album Cloud 9. Some of those songs are really catchy, but I'm not a fan of the My Sweet Lord era stuff. Shoot me. But
I think they all have a period that you're kind of like meh on, to be honest with you. And so that doesn't surprise. Like, I get that. I totally get that. Makes sense.
It does. So February 19th, it's starting next Friday. It's going to hit New York, PA, New York, PA, New York, Michigan, Illinois. Couple Ohio, back to New York, back to New York, back to New York. They're playing Bethel. I guess they're playing that spot up in Woodstock, whatever it is. They're playing DC in March.
Yeah, there you go.
Second to the last show before they close in New York. God, I wonder I don't have the venues. I just have the dates and the locations, the cities. I wonder how big the venues are. Intimate, it says intimate.
Would anyone follow a Ringo tour? I don't know. You know what? I bet a Ringo tour would probably be the happiest, most joyous tour of them all. Like the guy's,
he has enough tongs. Probably.
The guy's just full of love and light. I mean, he's the happiest dude. I don't know. Married Barbara Bach, didn't do too bad. Like, I don't know.
Barbara Bach.
Right?
That's funny. I think that's
pretty impressive. I know, Max Jam. Yes, Blue Note, Molten Medicine World, Maggie Rose is amazing.
So let me ask you, what do you think now that we have a little bit of distance from Bobby passing?
Fish not doing a tribute. Yes, it's still interesting.
Not Fish not doing a tribute. Now that some of the dust is settled, do we still really think that Mayer is going to try to continue to do something, going back to the Ship of Theseus thing? If there's no original members, but they're still playing the Grateful Dead, and it's Mayer and O'Teal, and are they the 2.0 version,
I don't think it's one of his priorities. I can see him, I don't know if you listened to that interview he did with Matthew McConaughey on Sirius or whatever the hell it was. He keeps posting clips from it, and I've listened to most of it, not all of it, but he talks a little bit about sort of playing and I don't know. To me, I feel like those songs are always going to be a part of him, obviously, and a deep love of that. I don't think it's necessarily something he's like excited to jump back into necessarily. I mean, he was the one that was like getting sick of touring before the Spear came around and sort of reignited his passion of like being creative and doing this whole thing anyway. So I think maybe in time, you give it a year, maybe two or something, and I think they come together. I think in some way we have to have I don't see how he doesn't play with Clemente at some point in some way, in some fashion, because those two had such
they love each other. I mean,
exactly. And they played so fucking well together. And then you throw in O'Teal and Jay, and it just makes sense, right? Like you have a band there. You have a really good
do you have
band.
Mickey playing? Do you have Mickey playing as the last vestige of the original of what was before? He's not an original member even. And you bring in another guitarist?
Yeah, I mean, you could. I mean, you could do that. Who doesn't? Then you don't need Mayer all the time anyway, right? Like you could have somebody that's like.
You gotta have two guitarists for the Grateful Dead.
I know, but you could get away with one, so that way you don't always have to have, I don't know, a Mayer there. You could have somebody else fill that position and then have another guitarist. I don't know, Kev. I don't think he is gunning for it, but I think at some point he definitely will do something with it, because again, I think he'll feel some sort of responsibility from Bobby and them to keep playing and pass those things on and keep doing it, because that's sort of, I'm sure, what Bobby taught him or hoped to have like left him with. So I'm sure there'll be something at some point.
Right.
I hope. Also, I would be a big fan of it, and I hope there would be, and not from like a money grab or like I can't believe they're doing this standpoint, but from a like, awesome, let's go freaking listen to this version of it and see how these guys play it, and watch Mayer and Clemente go off on shit. Like, I'm all for that.
Exactly. Dave, hold your ears. Everybody in the chat, think of a couple questions to ask us for the last few minutes. The Neil Young Minute. We love a good statement. Neil Young was supposed to play Europe in the UK June and July of this year, and he released a statement. I have decided to take a break and will not be touring Europe this time. Thanks to everyone who bought tickets. Sorry to let you down, but it's not the time. He was supposed to have Elvis Costello play with him. It hit France, Ireland, UK, Netherlands, Belgium. Big tour.
What?
I wonder if he's scared they wouldn't let him back in the country because he's Canadian and has U.S. citizenship.
I was gonna say, what do you think? What does "now is not the right time" mean to you?
Maybe he just feels like I don't know. He needs to focus his energy elsewhere. Maybe it's code for there's some health problem and he can't. But I think it's leaving the country. The Europeans don't want us there.
He's not. I mean, but to your point, he's Canadian. I don't know. I feel like I don't know. That's interesting though. That like, because I don't feel like he's. I don't know.
I mean, he's 80.
So I mean, I guess if there's any sort of health issue would kind of prevent him from doing it,
Right. I mean, Bobby
So,
didn't say
travel.
anything. He went out, played his last shows,
Mhm. And Europe's a tough run. I mean, that's not like you're here. That's a long way away.
It is.
So I get it. Poor Neil. Well, sorry, Europe. That sucks.
That was your Neil Young minute. The Neil Young minute. All right.
I mean, I love that protest. So that's a pretty great. It's one of the better
Right.
ones you've done.
I think, Dave, if anything, they should steal the name that they used at the Sphere and call it Dead Forever or something.
Right. That was the point of those shows, was to leave that name, I thought, for the future.
But what kind of venues are you playing then?
Smaller.
Theaters?
Yes.
So Mayer doesn't take that step down. He was getting $1 million a night.
Yeah, but I mean, do you play the Forum? Do you play MSG as that band? I don't think so. I think you play like the Beacon as that band, right?
Right. Or
Warfield?
Capitol Theater, right? Yeah.
Capital, you could do that, like a tour like that. And then, Kev, to your point, you get a run, right? You get like you get like 2 weeks of shows or something. You know,
Right.
they play for 2 weekends across the board or something like that. So it's a little bit more
Right.
travel
Tedeschi Trucks
friendly and-
Band dropped a single or it dropped a song. I'm going to stop calling them singles because a single has to have an A side and a B side or
Boomer.
a double A side.
You're just gonna do it because it dates you.
Right. Well, no, because a single, the whole point of a single was you got 2 songs and you got
Right.
something that wasn't on the album or,
Right.
something, man. And then there were the cassette singles that would actually have remixes. It would be like 27, 30 minutes long as an album, the cassette single. That was your bargain buy back in the old days. What were we talking about? Oh, anyway, they dropped the song and it's cool. It has Derek on acoustic guitar, but man, I so want to go see him at the Beacon. I just think that would be cool. I've seen the Almonds there and Phil there and Trey there. I think it's the kind of place you go to see a band like Tedeschi Trucks with all those people, but it's still intimate,
Yeah, for sure.
So we'll see what happens. Friday we're going to be hanging out over on Volume, and for members on YouTube, noon with Amanda. Next week on Tuesday we have Makita coming on, and we're going to be looking at Fall 2013 from the Phish band.
2013.
Have you been listening?
I have, so I'm glad you brought this up. A couple of things on the Phish front that we can talk about real quick. I was listening to the first night of that tour.
Yeah.
I can't remember where it was, but Hampton, right? Is that what it was? Yeah. That Carini, holy smokes, that Carini jam. Wow. Like that was it was way too blissy and happy for a Carini. Like, where's my dark Carini? But man, was that just it was awesome. Like that just blew me away. Yeah, that was a huge highlight. So I was like, this is really fun. And I was surprised at how fast everything was even then, like kind of sped up feeling, you know what I mean? Like compared to now. And it's interesting too. I say that, but then I was listening to Phish Radio the other day and they played Santos from the Casbot show, which was the first time they ever played it. And when you go back and listen to that, it sounds so different. Like it is such a different song. It's got such a different pacing to it and such different like emphasis, like where Paige is playing at and things. It's such a different song compared to what it is now because it wasn't that rock anthem like Character Zero to like close a set with. It just had this different, and you're like, wow, if this song like had been like a first set, third or fourth song in the set song and developed that way, it'd be such a different song because it was really interesting to listen to. It's like how you listen to 1.0 songs and you're like, oh, remember how it used to be kind of like raw and this weird feeling to it, and now it's evolved into this like something totally different. That's kind of how it felt, and you're like, but that wasn't even that long ago for it to evolve like
well,
that.
they ghost defined it, right?
Yeah, it was interesting to see that. So yeah, that was, I don't know, that and it came right after I was listening to that other show, so it was just like this weird juxtaposition of everything in my head, like, whoa, it's weird here in 2013 how they sounded compared to now, but then hearing this, which wasn't even that long ago compared to now, and yeah, I don't know, it was cool.
It's not that long a tour. You still have time if you want to jump in and check that out with us.
And it's a fun time.
Right, we decided to go with whole tours and do it once a month, every other month, because it was getting a lot to do every week. We did it for a while, and then it was every other week. And plus, we have the Sphere coming up, so we'll do that one, and then next month we're going to have Julie back on to do Summer '88 of the Grateful Dead, which was an interesting time.
That is an interesting time.
Oh, the wind's picking up.
Kevin type 2 on singles. He did 12-inch remakes. I remember those remixes, 12-inch remixes. I love those.
I love them, man. You make a whole tape. You take like all the singles and put them all together on a 90-minute. Pop that in your ride. My Monte Carlo.
That's one of the best ones, the 12 Dicks run.
Yeah, then I went downhill, man. I got a Monte Carlo, then I ended up with a Corolla.
Ooh.
And it's now I've never gotten back to the glory of the Monte Carlo. I've always had practical cars. I don't have a car at all now, but practical cars.
You peaked with it, huh?
I peaked early, man. I'm gonna go back and relive my Ute one day.
My first car was my 73 Bronco that was
run
awesome.
Right through things. Steel fender on it. You're just
had to like lock the hubs for 4-wheel to put in 4-wheel, which I would always do to go like dirt, like right into the mud, and then had like put a roll bar in it, did the flares. It was a 3 on the tree, so the stick shift was like on the steering wheel, so it was like first gear, second gear,
3 on the tree,
third, fourth, 4 gears, reverse. Oh, dude, I was a professional with that thing, shifting that. I love that car. Oh my god, it was so awesome.
It's a lot.
And then I got rid of it. I got rid of it when I went to college and gave it to like family friends. And then when I went to college, I got a Honda Prelude, which.
So you basically peaked.
I peaked, early, and should have never got rid of that car. It'd be worth a fortune now. Ugh.
Oh man, a 73.
Like I pat rack everything. I have so much crap and collectible shit that's worth nothing. And the stuff that I've gotten rid of or should have kept, like that car that would be worth a fortune, are just like gone. Because the friends I gave it to, she hated it 3 on the tree, so they made it a stick on the floor and totally just ruined the whole car. I mean, just ruined it. And then she gave it to her sister, and by the time they were done with it, it was just destroyed. It was so sad. So sad. 2 Chevettes. There you go, Fractal. Nice.
There's
Bungo had a 1980 blacked out Monte Carlo. What?
Mine was white with a black fender on the front because the guy had gotten in an accident, I guess, and just replaced it with whatever was available, with red pleather interior. Did yours have the ceiling falling down, like the fabric on the ceiling falling down from the foam? It like stopped sticking, so you had to like hold it up.
Droop?
Yeah, it drooped. Yeah, it came. Yeah, and so I stuck like a pin up there, like a button.
How was it in the snow and the cold weather?
I didn't drive in the snow, man. I wasn't dumb. I basically went up to Philly anytime some band was playing. That was why I got the car. So I could go
just like Philly. A tour car to like throw everyone in. Bungle says, "Yep, he used tacks to pin it back up."
There you go. That's the worst part of those things. God help me.
That's amazing.
There's one at the auto repair shop up around the way. and it just sits there. And I'm like, does somebody own it? Like, I wonder if they take like $5,000 for it, or if they dumped $10,000 into it or something. You know,
You should go talk to the guy about it. Ask him. Spark up a conversation.
dude. I haven't driven in 6.5 years, man.
Maybe he'll let you take it for a spin. You just get behind the wheel for a little bit. Take it around the block. Tell him your story of the Monte Carlo, and he'll be like, "Oh man, you want the keys? You want to go take it for a little spin?"
Yeah, man. I might have
Do it.
to.
Do
All right,
it.
we'll see you guys soon. Like, subscribe, leave a
Have a good
comment if
week.
you're watching on YouTube.
See you Friday morning, hopefully.
Yeah, Friday morning over on Volume. Check us out. See ya.
Check us out. Maxwell Gisbane. That is classic. That's going in the war.
Yeah, I felt like we had to talk about that. But I say we give them a week. Gisbane, that's right.
Gisbane.
Everybody
East
comes
Joe.
and comes again.
See you, Bungle. See you, Mike Jam. See you, Fractal. Thanks for being over there on Volume. Jason.
Sit, Ubi, sit.
Gisbane.
Dun, 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 dun.